Greetings. I'm Mark from Wayward Studios, and today is going to be our first video for Wayward Studios. It's kind of maybe a little long time in coming, but we're going to do our year in review. Take a look at what 2024 was for Wayward Studios. We're going to look at what 2025 holds for us. But first, let's talk a little bit about who we are. Like I said, I'm Mark. I am one of four members of Wayward Studios. We are a local Midwest indie publishing company for tabletop role-playing games. And we started late 2023. We did our first Kickstarter in March of 2024, and it was very successful. So we wrote a module called From Out of Nowhere for the Dungeon Crawl Classic systems. It was a second level module. It was very successful on Kickstarter. It went to print. And this is what the end result was. We ran it at a lot of conventions, did some play testing, and again, we received a lot of positive feedback. So we were really happy with that one. And then we jumped right in from there and started a crowdfund on BackerKit, and wrote some zines for Weird Frontiers. If you're not familiar, Weird Frontiers is a Weird West, Cthulhu meets the Wild West, an amazing role-playing game written by David Beatty. And we very much, after reading the book and playing it, really wanted to be a part of it. So we dove in, head first, and we came up with 8 zines that were released all at once. And again, this was another successful Kickstarter, and those zines, which are out now and available, we have Tales from the Trail. This is a series of 4 mini adventures, little like one-shots that you can insert into your Weird Frontiers campaign. And then we did a couple zines that kind of built off some of the classes that were already in the book. This one is the Revelator. This one contains some new spells and magic items and stuff like that for the Revelator class. And then we have the Luchador. This is a supplement that has some more signature moves for the Luchador, some new mask powers. If you're familiar with the game, Luchadors gain some powers through their Luchador masks. And this also has some heals, the evil Luchadors. It's got some famous heals in there. And then we have this one. This is a supplement for the Gunslinger class. This has some new trick shots, some magic hats, some tricks for their horses and dogs and whatnot, which is a class feature that they have. But yeah, so that was that one. And then finally, along the class enhancement, we have the Mystic Monk. This one has some additional chi powers and some magic items that are kind of flavored to the Far East, and from the Wild West side of things. So yeah, that was that one. And then, not being satisfied with the amazing classes that Weird Frontiers already had, we came up with 3 more classes. So we have the Sharpshooter. This is kind of our homage to the Quigley Down Under type of character, your long-distance rifleman. We have the Chaveo. This is our Spirit Warrior, somebody who gains abilities through their contact with spirits. And then we have the Hiverano, which is our Mountain Folk. If you're familiar with Weird Frontiers, they have the Hellbilly class, and the Hiverano is kind of like the antithesis, or the anti-hellbilly. They draw their power from the land as opposed to like fairy power and stuff like that. So that was a huge Kickstarter that took up a lot of 2024. Again, very successful. Got a lot of positive feedback from that. And when we created From Out of Nowhere, we had always envisioned From Out of Nowhere being a 3-part story arc. And so that's where we went next, is we did our next installment of the From Out of Nowhere, and that was called Knowledge is Power. That also successfully funded. That is currently in the layout stage, so I don't have a product for that, but I can show you some art. This is the cover for it. Very cool cover done by Cameron Johnson. Cameron Johnson also did the cover for From Out of Nowhere. And just a quick shout out to Chris Torres. Chris Torres did all our covers for the Weird Frontier zines. Amazing work. We have him. His art's also featured in both From Out of Nowhere and Knowledge is Power. Love him. So yeah, that one is currently in layout. That it will be coming to our backers probably within the next month or so. And what else did we do? So in 2024 was kind of our first venture into running our products at conventions. We went to a few conventions. We ran From Out of Nowhere at GaryCon. Got, again, a lot of positive feedback. We also ran games at Gamehole Con, where we met a whole slew of great gamers and creatives, and just a lot of fun, and got a lot of feedback on our products to help us kind of mold them into where we wanted to go with the modules and such. So that was kind of 2024. That was our first year in production, so it was a busy year. So what does 2025 look like? Well, we're again hitting the convention trail. We're going to be at Gamehole. First, we're going to be at Midwinter Con in just a couple weeks, where we're going to be running games. Then we'll go to GaryCon and Gamehole Con, and we'll probably hit a couple of the smaller conventions as well. But that'll be announced as we go on. The earlier projects in the early part that will be releasing in February. We have a Weird Frontier module. That one is called Dark Dwelling on the Prairie. That should go to Kickstarter in February, and that is a third level adventure for Weird Frontiers. And then we have the third installment of From Out of Nowhere, No Man's Land, which will finish that Knoll arc. But we do have a couple filler adventures that we want to run. From Out of Nowhere, we created a new class called the Half Knoll. And so we are writing a 0-level funnel dedicated to that Half Knoll class. And we're going to launch that for Zine Quest on Kickstarter, and that's called No Retreat, No Surrender. So, again, the play on the Knoll puns. So yeah, look for that on Kickstarter on Zine Quest, and Dark Dwelling on the Prairie will be launched on BackerKit. We're trying to keep all of our Weird Frontiers launches on BackerKit, and then all of our DCC releases on Kickstarter. Why, I don't know, but that's just kind of what we decided to do. And then there's the big project. We decided early on that we were going to write our own role-playing game, and we're doing just that. So for the past year, we have been writing our homage to 70s and 80s horror movies, and our game is called Horror Cinema Classics, HCC. HCC will use the Dungeon Crawl Classic engine with a whole bunch of other features that will make it its own flavor. We have already started playtesting the material. We ran games at GameholeCon. We had an adventure called Evil at Everson's Farm, which was a zero-level adventure that got a lot of great feedback. The core setting is going to be set in the 80s because us creators at Wayward Studios are a bunch of 50-plus-year-old guys that grew up in the 80s, grew up on those horror movies from that era, and just shaped our childhood. So that's our setting. Is 80s horror. A lot of the early ones are set in rural Midwest towns. We all have this Midwest background, so lean into what you know, I guess. So yeah, we did Evil at Everson's Farm, which was great. We are running at Midwinter an adventure called Toy Store Terror, which is another zero-level Horror Cinema Classics adventure that we're going to be playtesting. And then in March at GaryCon, I'll be running the sequel to Evil at Everson's Farm, which is a first-level HCC adventure called Blood Bowl. Blood Ball. Blood Bowl was taken, so Blood Ball. And then we actually have another first-level adventure that we're working on, set in our hometown of Racine, Wisconsin. Set in the high school that many of us went to, and names are changed to protect the guilty, I guess. But that one is called Parker High, and that one is currently in the playtest phase as well. So a lot of stuff going on for 2025. We are hoping to launch the crowdfunding for Horror Cinema Classics in October, hopefully over GameholeCon. That would be ideal. And yeah, that's kind of what we got. If you are interested in any of the products or any information about Wayward Studios, I will put the information down below in the description. If this is material that you would like, I am hoping to do regular releases, YouTube videos. And if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified. And then I hope to see you all either here on the internets or at the local conventions or your friendly local game stores. Until then, take care, be kind to each other, and have a great 2025. Thank you.